Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. In this episode we are hopefully going to get some paint on the inside of this car. Right, so I am getting this car ready for some paint, and there's a few things that I've done in here that you probably haven't seen. So you can see there are some gussets over here, there's a harness bar on the driver's side, gussets there. I've also got various gussets in places as well. Got this diagonal bar here underneath the dash. I've made a bracket for my power steering pump to sit over there, which still needs to be welded in. Over here you can see I've made a bracket to mount the brake and clutch fluid reservoir, which is nice and neat. And I've also taken out the rear screen over there just to make life a bit easier for painting. So what I am currently doing at the minute is cleaning all of the inside of the shell, and once I've done all that degreasing, I'm going to blow it out with the airline, and I'm going to scotch everything down to get kind of to this sort of matte pinky colour, but just to take shine off all of the areas that's going to be painted. So hopefully in a few days, once I've got all of this prepped and masked up, I'm going to be taking this over to my mate's body shop to get painted, and depending on how things go, it might actually be me on the gun, maybe for a minute, and then once I've messed it up, I'll probably pass it over to him. So it's time to get cleaning. Right, today is the day. This is going up there on that trailer, and it's going to the body shop to get painted. I'm on my own, and this obviously is not going to propel itself, so this might be a bit of a challenge. So wish me luck. So there we go, Volvo is all loaded up. Off to the body shop we go. Alright guys, we are at the body shop, and this is where my very good friend Chris works. Now I have to stress, this is not the sort of thing that Chris normally does, so please don't bombard me or try and get in contact with Chris. Try and find him on the internet and ask him to paint your track car, because that is not the sort of thing that Chris does. What Chris normally does is anything from a 1920s racing Bentley to the most modern hypercar. You know, he's got a Maserati part in there, historic Maserati part in there to paint. He's got a Cobra coming in next week. He's done dozens of McLaren F1s, GTRs, Longtails, Senna, all of that sort of stuff. So this is not really going to be the height of his career. This is certainly not something that he's going to be putting on his CV. And I'll be honest, I don't think he's even going to paint it himself, because I'm going to give it a go. So I've just spent the last hour and a half, 2 hours wiping this thing down, degreasing all of the inside. Now I've already spent a lot of time prepping this, and I thought I'd done a pretty good job, but apparently not. So I've now spent a lot of time preparing this. We're just starting to mask things up, and yeah, that's probably as far as we'll get this evening, and then tomorrow we're hopefully going to get some paint on it. And here he is. Alright, so it's day 2 at the body shop, and the car is all taped up, all masked off, been completely degreased inside, been aired out and vacuumed out several times over. So it is as clean as it's ever going to get, and it probably is not up to this guy's standard yet at all.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Anyway, so this is Chris, known to his friends as Lenny, so I call him Chris. Lenny and I have known each other for quite a few years, since you were in year 7.
Yeah.
We won't say how long ago that was, so you
Too
don't
long.
know. Yeah, that's quite a few years now. And I was saying to the guys earlier that this is not normally what you do. I mean, you do race cars.
Yeah, do race cars, yeah.
But normally the higher end stuff, completely custom paint jobs, not just a single colour or anything like that.
Yeah.
So normally...
Well, yeah, and anything from a mini to a historic race car. That runs in the Masters Championship and things like that. So
so
all across the board, really.
Yeah. So if you've ever been to the likes of Goodwood, you'll find a lot of cars there that Chris has painted.
Yeah.
Lot of multi-million pound cars. So I might show you a few examples.
Just like this one.
Yeah, just like this is the pinnacle of your career now. But yeah, we are pretty much ready to go, so we can get suited and booted and hopefully throw some paint on this thing. Red. It's near enough, isn't it?
Yeah, that'll do.
That'll do.
Red and shiny.
That's the colour it's getting.
Red and shiny.
I failed. Apparently not clean enough. Well, about halfway through, it's a lot harder than it looks, I'll be honest. I'm absolutely sweating in here, and Chris has only set the booth to 15 degrees, so that's quite cool in here.
Yeah, it's cold.
But I'm absolutely sweltering. Doing this job is not easy at all, and I've probably done a horrible job. But it's looking a little bit red. I won't show you everything just yet, but I'll crack on now. Well, that is fucking hard work, actually. Respect to anyone that does this for a job. That's probably taken me, I don't know, a couple of hours at least. It's not perfect by any means. It's very orange peely, but it's red and it's kind of shiny. It's looking pretty good. I have to admit, for the first time I've ever done any spray painting like this with a proper gun in a proper booth, you know, I'm quite impressed with how well that's gone. I mean, it helps that I've got all the proper equipment. It helps that Chris has mixed the paint so it's the right viscosity. I've got a proper professional gun. I've got decent airline. I've got all the kit here. There are millions and millions of pounds worth of McLarens and whatever that comes through this paint booth. So I've got no excuse for this being quite as bad as it is. But one thing that I didn't want was paint runs, and I've managed to do that. Chris doesn't think it's a terrible job. I'm quite happy with it. I'm looking forward to getting all the masking off and getting this out in the daylight and seeing how it looks, because it's the first time the car has been red on the inside, I mean ever. It's always been kind of a patchwork quilt with all the sound deadening and all stuff like that. But yeah, oven is just about to go on bake, and I'm going to be picking this thing up probably tomorrow lunchtime-ish. Hopefully the weather's dry and sunny and we'll be able to see how good it looks then. So I'll catch up with you guys when I come to pick this up. So how do you think it went?
It's red and shiny.
It's red and shiny.
Yeah.
For a first attempt?
Yeah, it's probably the most difficult thing you could learn on the inside of a roll cage. Is not good when you're experienced. So considering you haven't had a go before, it was probably the hardest place to start.
Yeah, and it took about 2 hours to get on, which is twice as long as it probably should have done.
Yeah.
So I had the difficulty with the paint starting to go off in the gun because I was so slow.
Yeah.
But no, thank you very much, Chris.
No,
really appreciate it. Don't contact Chris for stuff like this because you've got a little scratch on your Fiesta or nothing like that. But if you do have a proper race car or a supercar or something like that, and you got deep pockets,
we'll entertain anything.
Yeah,
mate.
but thank you very much. Really appreciate it. We'll get this on the trailer and see how it looks in the sun. So, thank you. So there you go, guys, that is the interior on the Volvo, painted by yours truly. Now it's not 100%, I have to stress that, and there is quite a lot of orange peel and it's a little bit dry in places, but that's on me. I did that. I have to say thank you so much to Chris, all of his help, all of his guidance, and the use of all of his equipment, the booth, getting the paint for me, everything like that. I could not have done that without you. The finish is so much better than I could have achieved in the garage with either the compressor or using spray cans. That would have taken absolutely ages, but I am really happy with how this has turned out. So now all I've got to do is build the thing. So if you want to see that, make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss any of the future videos. If you've got any questions, please leave them down in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.
Oh, hang on. Oh, it's a video.